Hello guys, it's me. This week's video request, actually I'm kind of a week behind, but the last video request I got was asking me to kind of tell the story of my art, how I started and what I was doing at the beginning. So I went and dug out some of my old sketchbooks today, and I guess I've kind of always been a doodler, I will say that. Just kind of nonsense stuff. I've always kind of kept a journal, and I used to doodle little things in the journal, like just goofy little things on the side and stuff. And so I wasn't really serious about it until I got into high school. This was a sketch pad I had. I think we actually had this for something artsy we were supposed to do in school. I was homeschooled, by the way, so I could doodle all over my stuff and not get in trouble for it. Anyway, so I would just doodle goofy stuff. I don't know why the first drawing in this sketchbook is a drawing of koalas. I have no idea why. I've always been a fan of comic strips, and when I first started drawing, I really wanted to do comic strips. Peanuts is really what inspired me to start drawing my own. And me and my sisters, we would doodle these goofy little comics about bugs on our schoolwork sometimes. And so I kind of started making up different comics with bugs, just using colored pencils and, yeah, doing goofy stuff. I didn't even space the comic panels or anything. So that's what I started out doing, was comic strips. And then I started creating all these characters for bugs, was the comic strip I was doing. You can see here's a page I did of a bunch of the different characters, and I don't know what the triangle has to do with any of it, but yeah, so I had a whole cast and everything for this comic strip. Okay, so I did that for a while. Like I said, this is from high school. My first introduction to anime and manga, however you want to say it, was actually when I was around 9 or 10 when Sailor Moon started airing on Toonami. Up until that time, I had no clue what any of it was. I did have a friend at church who drew in manga style, and so we'd write back and forth, and she would send me little tutorials on how to draw manga faces and eyes and things like that. So I did that kind of a little bit when I was 9 and 10, but I wasn't really serious about it until after I graduated high school. And then I kind of started looking into manga art again. And so these are some of my first attempts at chibi art with manga, okay? And I don't know, this sketchbook, some of these sketchbooks we're looking at, they're 5 and 6 years old. And I have no idea what I was thinking. A lot of bug stuff in the first one. And there's supposed to be a chibi of Sailor Pluto. In the beginning, when I first started drawing manga art, a lot of the art I was doing was Sailor Moon related, because that was really all I knew about anime and manga. And there's another chibi and more of my bugs. And I pretty much drew bugs all the time. I was really wanting to be a comic strip artist and doing splash pages and stuff. Then, let's see. I tried to mark a few things. There's a picture I did of Ponyo. I don't know how old this sketchbook is. And there's another chibi. There's a robot. I don't know. Like I said, I did a lot of Sailor Moon stuff, and I look back now and I'm like, oh, that's so bad. Oh, that's what I was going to show you. That is so bad. And that is I think 4 years old, I'm going to guess the sketchbook is. I didn't do a lot of pre-sketching in pencil back then either, so a lot of times there's mistakes I see looking back over old sketchbooks, and I'm like, oh, I could have avoided that if I'd sketched it first and then inked it, but I didn't. I just used a Sharpie pen and just drew the whole thing right away. Then there was that time I thought, oh, I can do a manga. I like to draw comic strips. It won't be that hard. Yeah, this is really bad. And this is again 5 or 6 years old now. And it's really bad. I didn't even finish the first chapter, and I haven't even done anything with the rest of the notebook, because every time I look at it, I just crack up laughing. Anyway, so I don't know, I drew all the time, and I think that's kind of what helped me get better, was just, I knew I was bad, but I didn't quit. And a lot of these, sometimes you might recognize some poses and stuff. I use a lot of Chris Hart's books. He has a lot of manga books out. Mark Curley, that didn't come out till a few years ago before I got a hold of that. But I don't know, I just kept drawing, and you see some improvement from this to that last thing I showed you. And again, Sailor Moon, I had my own manga character I created. She was an alien called Kiri. So I did a lot of drawings of her, Ryoko from Tenchi, things like that. This one, oh, there's stuff falling out of the sketchbook. This one is, I want to say, maybe 2.5, 3 years old. That's a drawing of Hane from Arena Tanemura's Gentleman's Alliance Cross. And there's some chibis. I mean, you can kind of see just looking from the ones that are like 6 years ago to ones 3 years ago, my style and my colors and everything, it started to come together and look a lot better. And just that was over time and with practice and stuff. Here's another one, I think that's like 3 years old. And if the video is a little shaky, we don't have a tripod, so my husband's holding it tonight. Oh, gotta flip that one sideways like that. And there's Kiri again. I haven't really done anything much with her lately. That was a character, Kiri, I just kind of created in the beginning, and it kind of helped keep me motivated to keep trying to develop my own style with manga art and stuff. So there's that. This is also like 3 years old. I want to do still a manga about Samuel from the Bible, and that was a little like a preview sketch I did of Samuel. And this is a notebook from last year, Sailor Moon again, and I mean, I just kept drawing, and I don't know, I guess when you just keep doing something, you just keep getting better. That's all I can say, is just draw something every day. And last year is kind of, I mean, I've always liked drawing chibis, but I think last year is when my chibi style really kind of started to develop. I don't do the eyes like that anymore, unless they're like really in shock or something. Hey, it's Kronk! So, that's that. And this was an Avengers notebook I kept like over the last 2 years. I just finished it last winter, I think. But yeah, it was mostly Plantasha Drabble. Me and my Plantasha. Okay, so that was mostly manga. And then now, of course, up to today. Yeah, I couldn't have seen myself doing stuff like this like 5 or 6 years ago. So that's kind of the story of me and my art. I started out wanting to do the comic strips, and I dumped that because I was really in love with manga art, and I just really wanted to get better at it. And for a while I kind of tried to do the comic strip. I was doing bugs about a couple times a week, I think, or even just once a week. And I tried to keep up with that and also practicing manga art, but in the end I didn't have time to focus on both the way I wanted, and so I had to choose, and I chose manga because I think manga art is beautiful. And around here, I know it's something it's really hard to get a hold of. We don't have a lot of bookstores and things like that, but the library has been a big resource for me, getting books, like I said, by Chris Hart, Mark Frilly, things like that have helped me. And also the internet, just watching how other people draw and watching tutorials and things. So anyway, yeah, that's kind of the story of me and my art. This is probably long and boring, but hey, maybe you can laugh at some of the old stuff I did, because I know I go through and I crack myself up. Okay, so that's going to conclude this video. Thank you for watching, and thank you for the suggestion. Robin, she suggested that to me. If you guys have any suggestions or any comments or any questions or at all, please feel free to let me know. Thank you guys.